In the fall of 2013 and early winter of 2014, the Raincoast Education Society, with help from Uu-a-thluk, traveled to the Nuu-chah-nulth communities of Vancouver Island. In these communities, we visited elementary schools delivering the West Coast Whale program. In this program, children learned the main adaptations, differences, and similarities between three types of whales which live on the West Coast: orca, gray, and humpback. Children learned about whales' adaptations, habitat, and also the rich Nuu-chah-nulth history associated with whales on the West Coast.
Orca whales are the wolves of the sea. In our stories, wolves are sort of like the policemen of nature, if you will. They help to keep the balance of everything healthy in the forests and the land, make sure there's not too many deer or not too many sick animals, and that way the forests aren't overrun, the berry bushes aren't overgrazed. And there's a story that if they've achieved a balance on land and there's not enough food for them, they will go to the ocean and transform into orca whales, and vice versa, where they do the same job.
Give us some flukes here. Right? Take your tail and smack it on the water. Ready? Smack it on the water.
Ours goes over here.
Okay, here's our
Yeah. R1.
There you go. Get ready to go. Good job, good job.
Be on that side.
There you go. So you're gonna put it here. Good job, you guys. That's awesome. So you're gonna get that guy in his place?
He's still some right there.
The thing about this jaw is extremely important in the way that the killer whale interprets the sound. In this lower jawbone, same with this whale, there's fluid, okay, there's liquid and kind of spongy material that receives the sound. Transient orcas that we get to see most often are small family groups. They look for mammals to eat. Some whales aren't so lucky. And when they die, they don't necessarily die of natural causes. And they can get really sick because of something known as bioaccumulation. If you're a top predator like a wolf or an orca and you're eating, what are you eating if you're up here on the food chain? Okay, what kind of a mammal? Give me an example of a mammal.
Seal.
Seal. Okay, so we have an orca, we have a seal. What might a seal eat?
Fish.
How many fish? One fish?
No.
20 million. Oh, and then what's below that? What do fish eat?
Other fish.
Yeah, other little fish. So the thing with bioaccumulation is if those fish have any pollutants in their body, by the time the orca whale eats it, it can get very, very, very sick because it's eating and accumulating all of these toxins. So stuff like pesticides or any chemicals that we put in the water. Straighten up, please. Oh, please straighten up. She's eating all of this.
Whales have been Nuu-chah-nulth people's one of our greatest friends and allies, and I know that all whales were referred to as shes. The humpback whales, at least, were referred to as shes because they're great givers of life to our people and our nations. And whenever a whale was brought over to Uu-a-thluk Island there was a huge ceremony by the whole community to welcome that spirit of that whale to our our community, and all of the whale was used. The bones, the fat, the blubber, those are all huge gifts that the whale provided us. And because of the whale hunt also, we were very wealthy people. Many different nations all over the coast specialized in trading different things. We didn't just, eat only what we could get in our traditional territories. We had a huge trade, which can be shown by the expanse of the Chinook language. Chinook language was a trade language, and it was used from California, Oregon, Washington, British Columbia, and Alaska. And a lot of words in Chinook come from the Nuu-chah-nulth language. And I have a theory that it's because we had whale oil. Oil has always been extremely valuable. It still is in the world. Think of how much olive oil you use in your life, or butter, or oil in your car, or Vaseline, or whatever. And we had whale oil here. So we could trade to people in the Rocky Mountains who didn't have oil, and we could get mountain goat wool. We could get the best weaving grasses from the Olympic Peninsula. We could get camas bulbs from around Victoria. We could get these noodle cakes that were like Mr. Noodles from another nation somewhere in the interior. We could get soap berries, which we ate on a regular basis here, but they don't grow here. They're from the Okanagan. So we were really, really wealthy thanks to the whale, and that has influenced and shaped our history in a lot of ways.